Hello, I am here and will be joined briefly by Justin of Tantra Love Coach. I am adding him now. Okay, let's give him a second to pop on. There we are, yay!
Hey, Leola, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you, Justin?
Doing well.
Amazing, cool. And welcome to everyone that is joining us on this live. We are so excited to be here to chat about the Tantra Love Retreat and retreats in general, what they've offered to us and what they can offer you. So, Justin.
I would say retreats to me are my favorite experiences, retreats and festivals, right? Going to a workshop's great, you learn, but you're never really able to fully drop in and typically get the depth of experience that you can get when you're at a place for a few days, meeting people, connecting deeper with yourself. So for me, traveling around the world and doing retreats and festivals, it just provides so much depth and color that I feel like is not available in your regular life. Plus, it's a really beautiful escape from the norm. And even if your norm is pretty amazing, and me and Leola were just talking earlier how great it is to really manifest your life the way that we have, and so many others that work with us and follow us. But to be able to still step away and go, all right, I'm going to go away for a few days and drop into this beautiful tantric world where I get to meet like-minded individuals and play and learn and go into the depths of my soul and my heart. There's nothing quite like it. So I think both of us have been so inspired by retreats and us collaborating. We'll go into more about that this was just a no-brainer as far as setting something beautiful up for everybody out there.
Yeah, we're so excited to share this opportunity, and we'll be talking about every facet of this experience. But if you have a specific question, feel free to pop it in the chat box below. And once we've gone through our whole spiel, we will answer those questions at the end. But why don't we start just by introducing a little bit about us, you and I, Justin, and kind of how we started collaborating and dancing in this space together. Do you want to tell them a little bit about you first?
Yeah, sure. So I guess it was up until I was about 33. I was really not in the spiritual conscious world. I was first in finance, living in Manhattan for a long time, and then moved to Miami. And there I kind of had my spiritual awakening with a training. But yeah, it was kind of like a retreat. It was first like a 4-day thing, and then it was a 5-day thing, and then it was a 3-month like container. And in this experience, it just opened my mind to my purpose and my pleasure and all the things that I could create in my life if I just let go of the typical in your box stuff that life was teaching me. And for me, I was very lucky and fortunate enough in my life to not have a lot of shame or guilt around sexuality. So I was always exploring and adventuring. And when I was in the world learning more and more about Tantra, it was just like, yeah, this is me. This is exactly what I get to do. And I really want to support others in opening up to their freedom. And of course, that starts with healing and going deep within. But then to be able to freely choose and come from a really sovereign place around your sexuality, your pleasure, your intimacy, your connection, the type of relationships you have with people, and of course with lovers and partners. So all of that is really the world that I've been playing in for a bunch of years now. And of course, offering Tantra massage sessions and coaching clients has been just an absolute dream. And now stepping into the world of doing some more retreats and more events and festivals has just been really beautiful and allowed me to meet so many new amazing people.
Yeah, I love that. And for myself, a little bit of background as to how I got here. I grew up in a very conservative background that really gave us one path to success and really a very limited perspective of, what it means to be a human, what is possible, and also the relationship to my body and sexuality was also very dimmed and ostracized in some cases, which led to a lot of confusion and a lot of experimenting with my sexuality in ways that were damaging to me in the long run, and also led to some experiences of sexual assault as well. And when I started my spiritual journey in my early 20s, about 8 or 9 years ago, it was beautiful because there are all these incredible modalities, meditation, yoga, breath work, all of that, but they're not addressing the root, which is the energy that brings us into the world, which is our sexuality. And to me, Tantra encompasses that. It encompasses the sexuality and all the other pieces, and also recognizes that, you know, this life force energy, because it is what we are made of, touches every single part of our life as well. And that really brought me on this path of expansion, of expanded state of consciousness, of an expanded way of living, abundance, of living in purpose. And I'm super grateful to be here today and to be joined by Justin, to be able to collaborate in this space. And I know that we talked, you mentioned a little bit about how retreats helped you, and I would love to go into, you know, that for myself as well. This piece on, you know, stepping into a sacred container, you know, to rejuvenate your body, your mind, and your soul, and to see evidence of a new way of being is just priceless. It's so priceless. I used to think that I was introverted until I started going to retreats with people that are equally as dedicated as I am to growing and to evolving and to exploring the depth and range of their humanity. And so it's super beautiful to be collaborating with Justin in this space and to be creating a space for all of you guys to see that as a possibility, to witness that opportunity, and to be able to surrender into a container where everything is taken care of and it's all beautiful, and we have this incredible itinerary for you and delicious foods, and it's safe. It's a safe place to explore as well. So yeah. And Justin, what have we done so far that has gotten us here to this place together that we
Yeah, I
get?
was trying to think of like how we officially met, and I think it's kind of like how this kind of world has become. You know, you used to kind of go to some of the same places, you'd see the same people, you'd be like, oh, I saw you at the yoga thing, oh, I saw you at the sound healing, and you kind of like, no. But on Instagram, when you don't live in the same place, it's kind of like, oh, she liked like a lot of my posts, and oh, she like reposted something, and then I reposted something, and next thing you know, it's just like, I'm like, this person is my tribe, right? Like, this is someone I want to meet. This is someone I want to collaborate with. And I think we ended up talking, and we ended up doing the first podcast episode that we did together, which was really what I think really drew me to you, is that you're someone out there doing Tantra sessions, Tantra massage work, you know, very similar in the way, like that's what our passion is. That's what we really want to do, is we want to support people in these one-on-one or couples containers that, you know, not a lot of people are doing all the time. So I was pretty impressed by you and what you're putting out there, but also how grounded you are. You know, that's something that I get told a lot, and I think it's really important when you're doing such amazing work that could have someone fly and feel energy in different ways they never felt and feel so empowered they want to take on the world. And it's really good to do that work with someone who's like, yes, and we're here, and part of Tantra is enjoying this experience of being human, and honoring and loving your body, and honoring and loving your energy and your sexuality and all the range of emotions. So I think there's just so many synergies between us that we came together to collaborate. And of course, we've got to meet in person and collaborate further and experience each other's sessions. Yeah, it was, at least to me, it was like, okay, yeah, we got to do something bigger now. We got to like share this amazing collaboration with the world.
Yeah, I love that you pointed out this piece on the fact that we're both very grounded, even though we have the capability to work with these higher states of consciousness and altered states of consciousness. I think that's really important. And it is also really important for creating a very safe container. And we talked about this in depth actually on the podcast, episode 51, I believe. I was pulling up the episodes that we collaborated on while we were chatting, but episode 51 is called The Unhealed Masculine. And I recommend that, you know, individuals check out that one, as well as Why Work with a Tantric Practitioner, which is episode 34. So if you're interested in learning more about Justin and I and our perspective on this space, check out those on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, all the normal places. But it was incredible to witness you and to build that relationship over time. And, you know, experiencing your session was incredible, and just being in your energy And I think that was really when we decided a few months ago, let's do this retreat. And because we're both grounded Capricorns, we're making it happen, which is so exciting.
Yes, yes. It is really fun collaborating with you, creating this, and really just putting out like, what does the world need right now? You know, what is the big why? Why do people want to even do something like this? And I'm just encountering more and more people that are just like, they're just dipping their toes into like knowing their truths in their lives or in their relationships. You know, I just worked with a couple and their clients, and they were telling me about how, you know, he's very open and wants to open up more and more, and she's like dipping her toes out, and I'm like, well, this would be a perfect experience for you guys, because you don't have to do anything you don't want to do at this retreat. You're totally at choice, you're fully sovereign, and you can dip your toes into all the different juicy amazing things we're going to have, or maybe just one, and maybe that's enough for you. Or maybe you can just watch, and maybe you can be watched, and it's not like some crazy sex party or something like that. We're going to be going through so many different amazing teachings and different ways of creating a safe space and creating the containers. And then, and I'll let you go into more of it, Leola, but really to bring you slowly into where you want to be, and where you want to be in a realm of sovereignty, as well as sexual freedom, as well as pleasure, and potentially deeper and deeper intimacy, either with yourself or your partner. But it's really up to you. And that's the beautiful part. You can go and just be like, this was a fun joyride. And you can also go and be like, wow, this totally is going to change my entire life, my whole perspective, all the tools I was given. I can go home and use all of this in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you speak into this piece on integrating this. This is the type of experience that's going to potentially shift the rest of your life, which is incredible and such an opportunity. I love that you spoke into some of the intention behind this retreat, and I'd love to speak into that further. And for anyone that is just now joining, we're talking about the Tantra Love Retreat. If you have any questions about this retreat, we're going to be going into so much detail, but you're also welcome to go ahead and type in the chat box any questions. I see some questions showing up now. We'll answer those at the end of our presentation. So to me, this retreat, the intention that I'm bringing into it is this space to, you know, have deep connection and community, to find like-minded people, to find tribe, and also to reclaim your eroticism for presence, pleasure, purposeful relating. And we are going to be spending 3 nights and 4 days under a full moon in Texas Hill Country on a horse ranch. You can even ride horses in free time, which is so fun. And we're going to be going through with the intention to release any limiting beliefs or conditionings, you know, to allow you to step into your deepest desires and have that life, those manifestations take shape. Justin and I have both studied a lot about, you know, Tantra and shamanic sexuality. And, you know, we'll be integrating those pieces into a beautiful schedule, which we'll share with you in just a moment. But it's going to be a very empowering itinerary for connection and depth and expansion.
Yeah, and I think that something that I always wanted in retreats that I would go to, that I always felt maybe weren't there, was like, I really want an embodied experience. I want hands-on. I want to be able to practice what we're learning, and you know, to not have it be this thing that I feel like you're just like, yeah, that's great, and it's kind of like I could just read this in a book. But what we're going to be doing is stuff that you cannot read in a book. You're going to embody it. You're going to experience it, of course, to the level that you want. But you know, as Leola goes through the flow and the schedule, you'll see that we're really trying to make it really beautiful and at ease, right? Not like back to back to back to back things where you don't have time to just chill and integrate and talk with everybody. You know, I think something really important to note is, you know, this is a curated retreat. So it's not just anybody and everybody can come. We have an application, very easy, simple application process. So we want you all to do it, but we also want you to know that we're curating a really beautiful crowd that has you know, the type of energy that we want to have at this experience. And that's going to allow for really great opportunities for expansion through your safety, right? Through feeling really good with everybody around you and wanting to connect more and wanting to practice.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that piece as well. And also definitely want to go into the schedule and some of the things that we'll be doing. And before that, though, I love that you brought up this aspect of like reading the things in the book or taking the online courses, because those have been incredible parts of my journey. But when you're in a group setting with a bunch of people doing the same sort of practice, you get to see different ways to do similar things, and you can kind of see the evidence of what is possible as well, which is super powerful. And it is really living it. It's really living it. You can read about these practices in a book and they sound like esoteric, and you're like in the bedroom trying something and it's like, am I doing it right? And you have us there, and you have other individuals there to, you know, be with you in that process and to guide and to just hold space for more depth, which is a beautiful bonus of this
And
experience.
also to inspire, right? Like if I see two people dancing, like maybe I'll dance a little more, maybe I'll get more into it. But if I see, 20 people all going for it, I'm going to step more into that. And it's going to be the energetic vortex that we create is going to be absolutely amazing. And it's going to be what it is for each individual, right? The dancing could be very healing for one person. It could be cathartic for another. And it could just be pleasurable for another. And for someone, it could be like a total edge, and it's like, oh my God, this is the most I've ever done in this kind of experience. So I love that. I love creating this container where everybody's in their own thing, but also inspiring each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful point. So should we go into, a brief overview of the schedule now to give people a little
Yeah,
taste?
let's give people a little taste of it. It's not the final schedule, but we took some time to really go through like what is the best of, and that's kind of what this retreat is, right? It's the best of Tantra Love Coach, me and Leola at Talk Tantra to me. Like, what exactly is the most fun, the most exciting, the most depth, in depth types of learning, the most intimate? What can we put out there that's really going to have people go, wow, I got the best of album, rather than kind of this is just the one lineage or the one line that we're going to do. So imagine this is like a collaboration of a melting pot of all the awesome things that we've learned going all over the world and bringing it to you in our style. And hopefully, if you're here, you like our style. You've been following us, or you're listening to us now, and you're going, okay, these are people I could get behind, I could understand, and then you'll see really how to embody everything that we're teaching at the retreat.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up, because to me, I've been to dozens of retreats and workshops and things all over the world, Ecuador, South Africa, Nepal, Ireland, same for you. And there's pieces of shamanism there, and there's pieces of white tantra and red tantra and sacred sexuality. And to me, they're all of the most fun and expansive practices that I've learned and that you're also bringing to the table as well. So it's going to be super juicy. And we have kind of a theme for each day. So the first day is going to be sacred sovereignty. We'll have people checking in from about 4 p.m. Then we'll do a little welcoming ceremony with some intentional connection pieces, setting intentions, creating an altar together, really just honoring the space and grounding in. Then we'll have a beautiful dinner catered. Everything's going to be super healthy and delicious. Then we'll do a little consent and boundary workshop, how to ask for consent in a sexy way. What are sexy consent skills? And then we'll do a little warm up puja. Puja is kind of the Tantra, sensual play party. And that's kind of what we have for the first night. So we're jumping in right away with a lot of great value. Do you have anything you'd like to add on that, the sacred sovereignty piece?
Yeah, sometimes I hear, the consent stuff, and a lot of people just kind of talk at you around that, but we're going to do it in a very embodied way. So you're actually going to be able to be in the feeling and the experience of saying yes or no to someone, and also being able to kind of meet to your edge without going over a boundary. And that's a really important distinction that we're going to go into, and actually for you, again, to embody and feel it. And then, puja. Puja means worship, right? And there's a lot of different ways to do a puja. So what we're talking about is really bringing in our sacred sexuality, really bringing in our intentions, and really being and honoring like what our heart and our body is saying in our experiences. So, we'll get into a little bit more like what the puja and the temple night kind of vibes that we're going to have each night. But just know that it's going to be a really fun experience, and also it can be very transformational, and every single person's experience will be different.
Yeah, absolutely. And that first night with sacred sovereignty, the intention is really to put you in a place of empowerment so that you know that everyone is in the same understanding of what this container is, what is safe, and also to hammer in the idea that you are always at choice. You're not going to be pressured into doing anything. And
that also includes by your partner, right? So we're going to be there to support you if you're a couple, and you don't have to be a couple to come. So just a lot of people have been asking, you could come as an individual, you could come as a couple, you could also come as a polypod. So there's no restrictions on relationship dynamics as far as coming here. But there's going to be some stuff coming up between couples, because maybe one partner is going to be like, oh, I would really love to do this exercise, or I want to go to the puja and do this and that. And being able to set boundaries with your partner so that you both can feel expansive and grow, but also feel safe. And it's going to be really beautiful that you could have that kind of experience in a group of not just couples, right? So it's going to be couples, it's going to be individuals, there'll be connections, and it's really a beautiful kind of playground for you.
Yeah, a beautiful place to establish your boundaries while also exploring the edge of the boundary. And maybe the boundary gets to move or to shift throughout the weekend, depending on what's coming up for you individually and also as a couple if you're in that sort of container. So yeah, I think that wraps up night one. Are you ready to go into day two?
Let's do it. And then we can talk about lodging after?
Yes. Yeah, love it. So day two is body temple. So really this intention of how can we reclaim all that we are, find that self-love, that self-worship, and feel really comfortable in our bodies and in our sexuality. So we'll start with some morning movement. It might be Tantra yoga. It might be some sort of sensual dance. We'll kind of feel into the container and the group of people that are there to decide what flows the best. Then we'll go into breakfast. We'll have a little bit of free time. And then we'll do a workshop around undressing, an undressing workshop, which is a contribution of Justin's. And then do you want to go into that at all, or should I continue?
Yeah, it's a workshop called Sacred Nudity, right? And we have a lot of stories about something as simple as being naked. And again, no one will have to be naked in this experience, but people have that opportunity to undress to a level of comfort that they have. And perhaps it'll be the first time that someone's nude in front of a bunch of strangers, or maybe just in their underwear or whatever it may be. But to have an opportunity of shedding some of these layers on our first full day, really, and see where you're at. I think it's a beautiful check-in with yourself in a very relaxed environment.
Absolutely beautiful, delicious, yummy description. Then I will be guiding us through a Yin Touch Workshop. And the intention here is to approach touch, physical touch, in a whole new way that is very soft and fluid and creates a sense of regulation in the body. And the beautiful thing about this exercise is it can be as platonic or as erotic as you desire. And again, you're also welcome to voyeur if you're not feeling comfortable. But I've done this workshop, with individuals wearing, workout clothes. And I've also done this, one-on-one with couples where they're fully nude, or with a group of women. So there's lots of ways to adapt this exercise and also bring it home, to your partners. So following that exercise, have a nice break for lunch. On the lunch break, you're also welcome to hop into the hot tub or into the plunge pool, or maybe go do some horseback riding or a little mini photo shoot. And we'll get into more of the amenities of the location and this experience later on. But just want to point out the fact that there will be some time and some breaks for you to be leisurely as well. So following lunch, we'll then do a demo of a Lingam Massage, a full Tantric, full body massage with Lingam Massage included. Justin and I will be, participating in this as well, and even actually being the, what's the word? The
Demo model.
So you have that to look forward to as well. And this is also something that we will demo it, and then you have the choice as to whether you would like to practice this together in the group setting, or you'd like to take it home to your partner or into your separate accommodation. Anything you'd like to?
So these kind of things always bring stuff up in people, because it's like, okay, cool, we get to see the demo, but then what? Am I going to have to find a partner? Am I going to have to do it with my partner in front of him? And, for example, I'm going to the Tantra Festival in Sweden in 3 days. And that brought up a lot in me. It was like, hey, if you want to come to this workshop, you need to come with a partner. And I'm like, I came alone. Like, now I got to go find some woman here to like do a yoni massage with, and I don't even know anyone. And it brings up a lot of stuff. And I think that's beautiful for like a festival and really, really, really deep work that could be, a lot. This is going to be a lot more relaxed. It is a retreat. Okay. It's not an intense training. So you'll have an opportunity, if you connect with someone or if you want to do it with your partner or whatever it is, to actually practice this work. And we'll be there walking around to support you. If you have questions, maybe you've never given a Lingam massage, but how important is it for someone to be able to understand and actually embody how to be with a man's energy, And that's going to be very powerful, not just for you, but for the whole world. Right. And unfortunately, a lot of men don't even know how to be with their own energy. It's always kind of to this goal of orgasm, this goal of ejaculation. And, we're in a different world with Tantra. So not only will you learn about it, not only will you get to see Leola do her amazing work on me, but you're going to get to practice it if you choose to as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to point out and hammer in the benefit of receiving a tantric massage as a male embodied individual. To me, men are so often in the space of, curating the experience, bringing the woman from point A to point B and moving the sexual experience along. And then, it's a very penetrative energy, both, energetically, but also physically as well. And that means that, you're not always fully in witnessing what's happening in your body because there's a timeline and a moving forward that is happening. Whereas when you're in a space of full surrender, when a tantric goddess is doing the magic on your body, you get to just be in the space of observing how this life force energy moves in your body, which is incredible in that you get to become a greater master of that energy when you're just in the space of witnessing it. So I love this opportunity. I would love for more people to witness this and be able to both experience it for themselves and then to also empower individuals to give this experience to others, which is the intention of this. So following that, we'll move into dinner. Again, we'll have a little bit of break time, and then we'll follow with another experience called Body Temple. I don't want to go too into detail, but this is one of my favorite practices that has ever happened at any of my trainings. It made me look at how I receive attention from others for my appearance in a whole new way. It made me really step into this fact that I am a temple and I get to be worshipped. And when someone is appreciating me, it is something that is an offering. It is a gift to me rather than something that I need to like deal with the male gaze, for example. And it's also a really beautiful opportunity to see others in their nudity, appreciate the breadth of the human body. So there's that, and then we'll move into another puja activity with, some things that will be guided, and then there will be a little bit more of a free flow experience through the room for you to try new things and explore with different people and begin practicing some of the things that you've learned in the work today.
Amazing.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's amazing. That sounds great. So the puja is going to be like a sacred temple night, right?
Yes.
So yeah, so just to touch a little bit on that, we're gonna really co-create this space, and this is gonna be something we're doing every night. So you can choose to opt in, you can choose not to be a part of it, but I would highly recommend being a part of it because there's so many different areas in this space that we're gonna create together, where you'll be able to explore different aspects of self, right? Whether it is, should we go into a little bit of what might occur there?
Sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's one of my favorite types of containers, and it's one that we're really excited to hold for you all. But imagine a space where you can stop and meditate and be in solitude with yourself. Another space in the same area that you can, cuddle and have massages. Another space, maybe you want to practice some impact play or BDSM or kink. And another space area might be for full-on group play if people want to experience, more sexual energy with others and they're open to that experience. Maybe another area is for, you have a partner or someone that you've connected with and you want to play with them there, but you don't want to be disturbed, but you're okay with people watching. And then also all the other things, whether it's fantasies or different desires that people have, we can create together and make stations for all of the different things that you might want to explore. So it's a beautiful, again, very tantric in the sense that it is kind of created in the flow rather than, okay, we have all this stuff planned out for you. This is exactly what it's going to be. And there's no, these are the walls. In fact, there are no walls. So you guys can come and create it. And who knows, I love helping people fulfill fantasies, right? And if your fantasy comes up and you have the courage to open the throat chakra and share what that might be, maybe you have a room full of people that want to explore that with you. And maybe not. And maybe that's an amazing experience too, to say it and not have anyone, respond in that way and be able to be with that energy. So it's a beautiful space for exploration. Again, working with your edges if you choose to, but also being strong in your boundaries. And we're going to have assistance there to make sure that everyone is safe and everything's okay. So yeah, I'm very excited for those evenings.
Yeah, and I'd love to speak into a little bit of my experience in similar containers with these temple nights or pujas. I had been to, several play parties before I had actually been to a temple night. And I never engaged with anyone at the play parties. I didn't feel like I enjoyed voyeuring, I enjoyed watching, but I didn't feel safe to explore my sexuality in those spaces. It wasn't until that I stepped into a very conscious, intentional space, such as the one that Justin and I are creating, that I had my first threesome, what else have I done in these spaces? Interacted with my first woman sexually, so there's lots of opportunity to try new things. And also, you don't have to. The first temple party I went to, I also didn't do anything, but I established my safety in that container, and that was very empowering for me. There's been others where all I did was cuddle, or all I did was dance. I actually didn't interact with anyone. There's been these sort of temple parties where I didn't interact with anyone sexually except for myself. I did some self-pleasure in those spaces. So there's, room for the whole range of activity. And also, you don't have to come to the temple party. There's no, formal end. You can walk out at any time, get space, and then come back in or not. So yeah.
Yeah, I think as you were telling me about your journey through it, I was getting chills because I'm like, it's such a beautiful space to really experience when your body is a yes or a no to something. And just like, I feel like people come out of these things, whether you go in for 1 minute or 3 hours in these experiences, you come away empowered, 100%, like empowered to the max, because you just know, you're like, yeah, I went in there and I did what I did and I felt my feelings around it and I communicated my communication. And it's like, you go to sleep really having a really nice night's sleep if you're not absolutely buzzing and energized and can't sleep, which is possible too.
Yes. There's, this fact that a lot of us try to explore our sexual desires or fantasies or interests with other people that don't have the tools yet. And the cool thing is that everyone in this container is going to be getting the tools to approach this from a place of empowerment. And that leads to greater satisfaction and success in these endeavors as well. So this is the place to do it.
Amazing.
Beautiful. So let's go ahead and move on to day 3. And the theme of day 3 is pleasure is power. So we'll start with some morning movement again. We'll kind of tap in the day before to feel into what feels the most juicy and expansive. Again, some of the ideas are maybe some sensual dance or Tantra yoga, sensual stretching otherwise. Then we'll have a little bit of a breakfast and break. Then we'll be doing the sacred demo of the feminine in the Tantric massage, which Justin will be doing on me. Do you want to speak into that at all?
Yeah, so this yoni massage demo is going to be really exploring the energies that are necessary to work with to open the yoni. And it's something that a lot of people don't know about, right? It's really about moving the energy that typically is focused on the outside of women's bodies in towards the yoni so it can actually flower and bloom and actually beg for penetration, rather than the opposite, which is what's happening in most of the world. Is no one even knows when it's ready, no one cares when it's ready, and they're just kind of just messing around. And like, it's not necessarily even someone's fault. It's just like, no one's been taught this stuff, no one knows this stuff. So we're going to really go deep into it. You're going to get to see the demos. I'm going to be explaining exactly what I'm doing while I'm doing it, so you're going to get it. You could be taking notes, and then after, again, you'll have an opportunity, if you choose to, and have a partner to explore the experience while, again, we're walking around to support you. So you could be in a question and what do I do here? And it's also going to be a lot about holding space, right? And how does the divine masculine hold space for the feminine? And that will be, it's one of my favorite things to do. I've done this specific workshop in various different festivals. I'm going to be doing it on a cruise out of Italy in a few weeks too. So you guys are going to get to see a really unique international demo of a yoni massage, and it will be really absolutely beautiful that we're going to be honored by Leola by receiving this.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Beautiful. So following that demo, again, as Justin said, there will be the opportunity for you to, immediately practice in that space with us there as a resource, or you can take this back to your private accommodation, or just keep it in your mind for down the line when you meet someone that you would like to share this practice with. From there, we'll move into lunch. Again, nice little break time for you to enjoy the property and to enjoy one another and any other activities that you decide to partake in. From there, we'll be doing another afternoon workshop around sex magic. So recognizing that this energy within us that literally created us can be channeled into every part of your life for healing, for manifestation, for longevity, etc. Do you want to speak into that at all, Justin?
Yeah, I always tell people, I'm like, our sexual energy literally creates consciousness. It creates human life. It creates babies, right? And it also creates orgasms for many people, which is sometimes would say the best feeling in the world, right? But why stop there, right? Tantra is all about expansion. Why are we putting limits on things? But that's kind of what the world has put on us. Like, that's what it's for. Go make babies, and other than that, don't have sex. Or, separating us from our pleasure, right? Well, this is an experience to not only honor that, but to say, hey, we can actually manifest and create so much more, right? I can call in the lover of my dreams. I can call in all kinds of healing. I can call in abundance, and there's no shame in being like, I want to call in X amount of money and whatever it is into your life. So to really honor the intention and the sacredness about your sexual energy, this is going to be a workshop to go deep in that. And I guarantee you, after leaving this, whether it's your self-pleasure ritual or you're with another person or multiple partners, you're going to stop and say, hey, before we do this, let's set an intention. And just doing that will make every single sexual experience of your life so much more powerful.
Yes, 1,000%. Totally agree with that. So following the sex magic, workshop, we'll go into dinner. And then after that, we'll have a self-pleasure experience workshop where you actually get to put the sex magic to the test. You get to actually practice it and be in a group of other people that are in the same energy, which just magnetizes the manifestation beyond your understanding. Into the self-pleasure piece at all?
No, let's leave that magic for as it unfolds there.
I love it. Beautiful. And then we'll end the evening again with another piece of temple night. And I feel like we spoke pretty deep into that, for the day before, but it'll be a similar experience where you can kind of pick and choose what sort of opportunity you'd like to explore that evening. And
think about that. You got 3 nights, 3 temple nights, and you can ease your way into things. Maybe you don't even go the first night, or maybe you just go and watch, and the next night, and then the third night. Sometimes your mind will be blown with the growth that you could have in those 3 nights. Forget about even everything else, just going the temple nights and observing yourself.
1,000%. Honestly, this is such a value for the temple nights alone. And then on top of it, you're getting like all of these amazing workshops, you're getting the community, and you're also being fed and staying at a beautiful location. And the of doing 3 temple nights in a row means that you get to like very directly look at, where did I start this journey and where did I end, in a place that is like open for you to explore that. And you also get to build relationships with people over those 3 days to go deeper in whatever way you choose.
Excellent.
So last day 4, integration and expansion is our theme. So we're going to be starting with a little bit of morning movement, again, tailored to the energy that we're feeling. We'll have a nice slow breakfast, and then we'll be practicing a experience called Ladi Han, which is dancing in the unknown. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it. If you'd like to share anything, Justin, you're welcome to.
Just know it'll be a beautiful mystery space that you will explore I think a lot of what you learned, and also to really be with self. And I think it's a beautiful integration.
Yeah, it's a great way to bring sort of the self-awareness that you've gained over the past 3 days, the first 3 days of the retreat, into a space where you get to zoom out from who you are, which is really powerful. And that brings us to a close. We'll do a little checkout and you'll be sent on your way to bring magic into the world.
Ooh, I just got super excited for all of this. And I got a little sad on day 4. I'm like, because I know what that feels like after spending such deep, intimate time with so many people on that last day. Like, there will be tears. And, we'll be really hammering home how to take all of what you learned home with you, right? And we're also going to be offering our services. So, if you need coaching calls, if you want to do one-on-one sessions with us or couple sessions with us, that's something you can set up in advance, and we'll be able to offer that to you either before or after the workshop based on our schedules. But yeah, anything else you want to say before I jump into our amazing assistants? Because I think that's a really important part of this experience as well.
Yeah, go ahead and describe the assistants and then we can chat about the location.
Yeah, so it's really important for us that we had assistants here so that we can really focus on A, holding safe space for you, and B, presenting and demoing and giving to you everything that we can in our all. So we thought about 3 people or so that would all bring their magic as well. So of course, my amazing partner, Jacqueline, was a big yes to doing this. So her skills around sensual movement and dance and all of her work around embodiment and yoni healing and shibari and all of that energy will be there with us. So she's going to help us out and likely be assisting in a lot of the experiences. And then why don't you talk about our other amazing assistants?
Yeah, I also want to just validate the immense value that is having Jacqueline here us alongside Justin, just because being someone that has witnessed their relationship, it is such evidence of what is possible in this world in terms of relating in a super high vibrational way. So again, the retreat is worth it alone just to see them interact, in my opinion. But alas, there's so much more.
One other thing that I just want to say, Jacqueline runs her own retreat. So it's like you have another full-on facilitator there, and she's humble and beautifully amazing enough to come and assist. And she's so excited for it. So yeah, and honestly, I love our relationship and the way we communicate, and you getting to see that as well, especially if you're in a couple or really looking to bring in a lover. We really built a strong foundation that you'll be able to see the results of.
Yeah, absolutely. So alongside Jacqueline, we have 2 of my dear friends, Steph and Cece. These are 2 women that I have collaborated with very deeply in this space of owning our bodies and using the body as this piece of art in this temple. Steph specifically is a trained nutritionist. She's going to be assisting us with food and nourishment and making sure that you guys are all well fed and are, ready to go for all of these rituals. And then we have Cece. Cece is an incredible artist and creative director. She is a photographer. She will be snapping some little shots of us. And just so you know, you will not be photographed without your consent at any point. But the really cool thing is that Cece will also be available to do some one-on-one photo shoots. So if you want some beautiful photos of yourself, out in nature, maybe some naked goddessy vibes, or otherwise God vibes, divine masculine.
Yeah, or couples, right? You could have an amazing, go to this retreat and remember it by having an amazing photo shoot as a couple, whether it's nude or not nude, outside in nature with this juicy energy we're fostering. I always want that. I love to have memories like that and to be able to have beautiful photos to use, whatever, content-wise or just really for you to hold in your heart.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're super excited to have these 3 stunning women inside and out joining us in this container as well. So shall we share a little bit about the location?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so we're going to be staying at the Retreat Ranch. It is in Marble Falls, which is about 40 to 50 minutes from the Austin airport. It is out in the country. It's a horse ranch. There's literally horses roaming around freely. You might see one walk by your tent in the morning. It's a glamping location. So we have, a choice of several very beautiful options for accommodation. We have yurts. We have, like glamping tents. We have some refurbished retro, campers, vintage trailers. We have space for couples to have, their own private accommodation. And we also have a bunkhouse for individuals to share, as well as some yurts or tents that have 4 beds. And all of the information about those 4 options and the pricing is on the website. I'll briefly go into pricing here now because we do have early bird at this moment. Early bird ends on September 6th, I think.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
Get it in before September.
Get in before September. Let's just say September 1st, just in case. So for couples, it's $5,555 for the couple. So for 2 people, so it's about, $2,200 or so per person on the early bird. And then for the singles, you will be sharing a room, and that is going to be $1,800 for early bird, $1,800, and those prices do go up by about $400 to $500 starting in September. So jump in now to get that pricing.
Yeah, and you can just put a deposit down right now, and then you work everything out later. But it is a 4-day experience with food at an amazing place that you probably wouldn't find normally. And Leola was just absolutely amazing of finding the perfect place for us, and also the training, and also the experience and people you're going to connect with, and the networking, the temple nights, the freedom. It is. I'm just so stoked. This is like my dream come true, and it's so great to co-create it with you, Leola.
Yes. And to share a little bit more about the retreat location, I've actually personally been to a retreat on this property. I was assisting a retreat on this property about 7 or 8 months ago. And I can speak, from experience that it's such a beautiful property. And it has, a plunge pool and a hot tub and, again, the horses, there's goats and chickens, and it's just a cool space. It really, really is. So definitely going to be an incredible opportunity, in the physical location as well. So from there, we've talked about location. We've talked a little bit about logistics and what's included. Is there anything we need to add on that?
No, I think if anyone has any questions, they can let us know. Again, this is Retreat. Anyone is welcome. There's an application. It's on Google Forms, very simple. So if you're interested in coming, fill out the application. If there's any questions, we're happy to answer.
Yeah, again, if you have any questions about the retreat that we haven't covered in this video, please feel free to pop them in the chat box. I will ask Justin one question. What would you say to someone that feels a bit anxious about this experience or is kind of on the fence, but still wants to come?
Yeah, honestly, I think it would be strange to not be a little anxious, right? It's a whole new world, right? We're creating a container that is very different from the regular outside world. It's deeply connected. You're going to be learning. You're going to be integrating. And you're going to have the freedom to do a lot of things you might not normally do. I mean, listen, I'm here in Miami. I go to the nude beach all the time. Not everyone can do that. Not everyone can just say, you know what? I'm going to walk outside and I'm going to sun myself completely nude, or I'm going to go hang out in the jacuzzi naked with my new friends that I made. Or me and my partner are going to go and we're going to really explore what's going on because we have an opportunity to be in this safe environment. And maybe you're considering opening up a little bit or going to some kind of sexy party. Well, this is the place to start, because if you jump into that other world without the communication, without the foundation, without all of that, it'll be a whole other kind of experience. And unfortunately, a lot of people ruin the experience of opening up or stepping into sexual freedom by going to places without, safe spaces or without communication or without facilitators and assistants who are going to keep you there. So really tap into your heart and say, you know what, this is it. This is the moment. This is the place. These are the people. And if you're feeling that, feel those nerves, let those come up and say yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to say for myself, any time that I've had a little bit of fear around something that feels like a place for me to explore and to step into greater empowerment, moving through that fear with courage has been like instrumental for where, like, I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't move forward with the things that I'm the most afraid of. So just, use me as evidence in that case. And I also just want to empower you to know that you're always going to be a choice. There's going to be no moment where you're going to feel pressured or coerced into doing anything that you don't want to do or that doesn't feel comfortable. You're welcome to voyeur at any point or to step out of the container at any point. And also, it is a safe container. This is the safest space to explore these things, as Justin had addressed. Are there any other obstacles that you'd like to bring up that people might have, Justin, in terms of what might?
Yeah, I just think a lot of questions have been around, like, oh, well, can I go with my partner if I don't have a partner? I'm breaking up with my partner, and all these other things. And it's like, fill out the application, let us know your situation, and we're here to guide you, right? This isn't just you send in the money and you show up. This is a curated experience. So, I think it's a great place to go if you just broke up with someone. It's a great place to go if you just started dating someone and you're both a fuck yes to it, right? It's also a great place to go to heal a relationship. Again, we want you on stable ground. This isn't a, relationship couples therapy, but this might be a really beautiful place to go and reconnect deeply with your hearts. It's also a great place for people that want to explore a little bit more openness than they might find in the regular world. Get out of the offices, get some daycare, and go away to a place where you're really going to be free and really going to be able to step away from all the monotony of, the everyday life for a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful points. Someone had asked, what types of practices do you share to ground the energy? Do you feel inspired to answer?
I want to say one thing that's amazing that I always do, and I told you what I was doing before this call since 8 a.m., which was gardening. So, like, I like to go outside and be in nature and ground my feet into the grass or sit down, breathe, and just feel. And sometimes I'll even just take my hands and feel the energy and push it back into the earth. Those are just very simple, easy ways to do it. And being out on this, I don't even know how many acres ranch where literally no one can see us anywhere, and we're going to be able to just ground in wherever we feel like. I think that's a beautiful way to do that.
Yeah, I want to point out that there's going to be lots of time, lots of free time, and we also have us as a resource at any moment. If you're feeling overwhelmed or activated in any way, we're here as a resource. We also have, incredible foods that are meant to ground you into this space, and also other practices that assist with integration. The movement is going to be a big piece with that, and also, just recognizing that the deeper that we are, the higher that we soar with this energy, the deeper the invitation is to ground. And that will be a regular part of the practice as well.
Yeah, and something that's great here is you got amazing people, facilitators, assistants. Sometimes you can go up to someone and say, hey, would you be open to putting your hand on my heart? Would you be open to giving me a grounding, melting hug? Things like that you now have all these amazing people that are going to be very likely to support you in a simple task like that. So you're going to have a lot of options of how to ground in. And of course, if at any point anyone doesn't feel grounded, come to us. And if me and Leola are in the middle of doing something, Jacqueline and our other assistants will be there to have a grounding conversation with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And, coming back to that place of, day one, really container and putting you in a place of sovereignty, our intention is to empower you. Our intention is to give you the tools to take care of yourself as well, and to be able to be present with your body, to recognize when things are moving very quickly, how to use your breath, how to use grounding touch to regulate yourself, and then also how to share that with others. So we're very excited to bring, that, foundational piece of Tantra, which is, as above, so below. How can you meet yourself first and then bring it into partnership and then even into community?
Beautiful.
Yay. So I feel complete on this conversation. If anyone has any further questions about this retreat, first things first, head to the website, talktantratome.com/retreat. You can also find it on under the events tab on that website. And we have all the information in terms of, pricing and accommodations. And this is for, maybe actually let's just close out with like a little bit of like, who is this for? I don't think we went into that, too deeply.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's for anyone who wants to further deepen their either personal development, personal growth, also intimacy, step into some more freedom when it comes to sexuality. Yeah, I mean, we have some good questions on the application, but really, like, is this a catalyst in your life that kind of moves you and goes, man, like some of these things are edges for me. Some of these things are making me a bit nervous, but I feel like I need it. I feel like this is then do it. You know, it's really one of those things that you'll feel in the experience. You're going to move out of your head into your body. And it's kind of like, you know, how do you get outside the box? Well, the instructions are posted outside the box. If you're in your head about this, let that go, come and experience the embodiment.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, if you have any questions of if this retreat is for you, please feel free to reach out. But just want to share that it is for all ages, genders, singles, couples. If you're monogamous or polyamorous, there's room and respect for all relating styles. This is for you if you're excited to learn about, you know, some tools for greater intimacy and connection. You know, if you desire community to connect with, to explore your edges, if you're looking for a safe space to, you know, discover your fantasies and practice your boundaries, a place to, you know, deconstruct those limiting beliefs around sexuality, intimacy, and your body. This is for you. You deserve to be, you know, confident in your pleasure and the potential of this power.
Absolutely. Anyone coming to this is going to walk away feeling very connected to their body. And I think that's an important part of our lives that's missing for a lot of people. So thank you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. If you, again, have questions, head over to the website. The link of the website's in my profile. And we're really excited to see you. And also, again, if you want to book anything with us before or after the retreat, let us know. This could be a week-long experience for you or more if you want. But we're excited to have you at this amazing retreat, this amazing facility with some amazing people that we put together for you.
Absolutely. Thank you again. And we look forward to seeing you in Austin in October.
See you later.
Bye.